All right, guys, my last lesson was all about comparing and ordering fractions. This lesson is going to build on that. So the last time we talked about it, we talked about being able to find the least common multiple, being able to make equivalent fractions, and then being able to compare those fractions. This is another way that you can do that. So we are going to be using benchmark fractions to help us. We're also going to be able to use the number line. It's a little bit like the fraction boxes, but it uses a number line instead. So the first question says, a recipe for granola uses 5/8 cup of raisins, 1/6 cup of dried cranberries. Is there a greater amount of raisins or cranberries? Well, the granola uses 5/8 of a cup of raisins, and it uses 1/6 of a cup of cranberries. Now, like last time, to compare these fractions, we have to have a common denominator, one that's the same. So we learned last time how to use least common multiple to find that. This time I'm going to show you another way. What you can do is you can set up a number line, okay? So your number line is going to be the same size. So we're going to use 1/2 to help us. So we're going to start with 0. This is 1/2, and this is 1/2, okay? We're going to use that same line, the same length of line, and this time we're going to split it up into 8s, okay? That denominator tells us how many slots there should be on this number line. So I'm going to go ahead and put in those slots, okay? And I'm going to label them because this is 8s. We know that this is 0, this is 1/2. This first one would be 1/8. Second one is 2/8, and so on. I need to move that one over just a little. Okay, so all I did was take this same length of number line and split it up into 8s. If I had to show 5/8, I would come right over here to where 5/8 is on the number line, and I'm going to put a big dot there. So this is going to be the raisins. Okay, now I need to do the same for the cranberries. This number line is going to be split up into 6ths because of the denominator here. So again, same length of number line. Going to start with 0 and go to 1/2. This time, instead of splitting it up into 8s like this fraction, I'm going to split it up into 6ths. So I'm going to come over here. That means I'm going to have 6 parts on this line. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I label this, this is going to be 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, and 1/2, which means you have all 6 out of 6. For our cranberries, it said we used 1/6 of a cup. Well, 1/6 on our number line is right over here. So you guys can see, did we use more raisins or more cranberries? You can see that this is larger than this one. So we're able to say that 5/8 is larger or greater than 1/6. So this is just another way to be able to compare those fractions. Let's see what else you're going to need here. Let's do another example like that from the back with those. Let's see what else we've got here. We'll do one more like that, and then we'll do one where we just have the numbers to compare. Now you guys are going to find that one strategy may work better for you. I want you to be able to learn the strategy so that you can decide what works best for you. So we've learned one other strategy already. This is the second strategy we're learning, so we're going to make sure we learn it for this time. And then when it comes down to it later, you'll get to choose which one works best for you, what makes the most sense in your brains. So let's do another example. So if I'm comparing the numbers 4/5 and 1/3, I'm going to do the same thing I did for the last problem. I'm going to use a benchmark set of fractions. So let's say this is 0, this is 1, this is 1/2 here in the middle. I'm going to have to set this number line up for fifths. Okay, so this is 0. That means there's going to be 5 pieces on my number line, 5 chunks. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this would be 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and 1 whole, which is the same thing as 5/5. So this is actually showing us 4/5. So if we have to find where 4/5 is here, right there. We're going to do the same size number line for the last fraction, for 1/3. So I'm going to start with 0 and go to 1, and this denominator tells us we need 3 pieces, okay? So 1, 2, 3. So this would be 1/3, this would be 2/3, and this one would be 3/3. I could even label it like that if I wanted to. Now we're going to mark where is 1/3 on this number line. Well, right here. So if we're comparing these two numbers, which one is a larger number? 4/5 or 1/3? You can see 4/5 is that whole spot. So we would put in greater than right there. So now you have two different ways to be able to compare those fractions. Okay? Later on, like I said, you'll be able to choose which method works best for you. This may help you see it better, or you may need to use least common multiple and find those common denominators. Hope that helps.